everyone. As the third part of our Instagram series, we are talking about how to actually convert your Instagram engagement into sales. So you might have a ton of followers, or you might get a lot of likes and comments on everything, but you're not necessarily getting those sales that you thought you would. Because there are people who have over a million followers who aren't making a lot of money, and there are people who have 400 followers and are making a ton of money. So it's all about thinking about Instagram as a business tool and not just thinking about it as a validation or social media tool. So, how do you actually convert that following and engagement into sales? Let me preface this by saying that about 65% of my yearly income comes from Instagram. So, I know what I'm talking about. I have doubled down on this platform and it has really paid off, not only in engagement and following, but in actual money, which is the whole point of this. The first thing that you want to make sure you're doing is attracting the right audience. We do have a video all about using hashtags and growing your Instagram following as well, but you want to make sure that you're growing it in the right way. You would rather have 200 followers that are your ideal client than a million followers that are totally different and will not ever buy anything you're selling. The way that you attract the right audience is by posting work that you actually want to be selling instead of posting work that you think is going to get good Instagram likes. There are a lot of photos that I post that get a lot of likes, but don't sell well. So I end up not posting those anymore because I want to focus on work that actually is going to sell and that people are actually going to buy instead of just growing engagement in something that's not going to sell well. You can also further attract the right audience by using the right hashtags. I recommend having at most 10 hashtags that are the same on most of your posts and varying 15 to 20 to get up to that 25, 30 range that you want to be using. So if you live in Texas, for instance, and you're only using Austin, Texas hashtags every single post, you're only giving yourself a chance to grow within that one market. But if you start using other markets, for instance, create some calligraphy envelopes that talk about San Francisco, so then you can tag San Francisco as the geolocation and use San Francisco hashtags. That's going to allow you to expand into a larger market there as well. If you're not totally sure who the right audience is for you, make sure you check out our ideal client worksheet, which I'll link below for you. We also have a video on this channel showing you how to fill that out if you're needing a little extra help. Once you figure out who that ideal client is, you can come up with hashtags, location tags, other influencers and people that you can work with that you can then also tag that makes sense for attracting that ideal client. If you only want to work with people in Austin, then you should only be working with people in Austin, only using those hashtags. If you only want to do beach weddings or destination weddings, for instance, then you should use those tags a lot and you should focus on interacting and networking on Instagram with planners and other vendors who also work on those types of weddings. So once you nail down who your audience is that you want to be attracting, everything that you do on Instagram should be focused towards that audience. Not only the photo itself, but the hashtags, the location tags, any other accounts that you're tagging, anything else you're doing, comments you're making, any proactive reaching out that you're doing on Instagram should also be focused towards that client. So you're attracting the right people to your account in the first place. Then you don't get bogged down in responding to comments or DMs from people who are not your ideal client. And you don't think like, oh, I got 300 likes on that photo. It did really well. But it turns out that 298 of those are not people who are ever going to shop with you. So you want to minimize the amount of time you're spending on people who aren't your audience and maximize the amount of time you're spending on people who are your correct audience. All right, once you have that audience on Instagram, how do you actually convert them into sales? The number one piece of advice I have here is just to make it as easy as possible. It's crazy how many times I go to someone's profile and I have to take 14 steps to figure out how to buy something from them that I already want to buy. So think about if I was someone who didn't already want to buy and wasn't willing to put in that time to research how to actually buy that product. You want to make it so easy that someone who had no idea they wanted your services might see it and make an impulse purchase. That's awesome. You want to make it so simple to buy. You want to make it obvious how much something is, where they can buy it, what they get when they buy it. So all of this information should be included not only in your captions, but you should also put it on your stories. If you have the swipe up feature, you should link every single post that talks about a certain product to that product and say that it's linked there. You can also, if you have shoppable products, you should be using those as much as possible. Yes, people can see it and it might look salesy, but you would be surprised. It's some, there's some statistic that you need about 7 touches before someone knows enough to, or feels comfortable enough to purchase something from you. So think about that. If you have 1,000 followers, probably about 100 of them are seeing your stories every day. So not only do you need to get 7 touches for those 100 people, but you also need 7 touches for all of the other 900 people. So even though you might feel like you're getting really salesy and talking about it too much, there are always going to be people who are just tuning in, who haven't watched your stories, who haven't been paying attention, that didn't know you did this. We talked about the Stationer Summit every single day for almost 3 months. And I still had people coming up the week after it closed saying, "Oh, I had no idea this was happening. Is it still open?" And it was so sad having to tell them that it didn't close because I knew that I had talked about it so much. I felt like I was annoying so many people by talking about it so much. But I did that because I knew there were people who wanted to take advantage of an awesome resource and that there was a limited time that they could do that. So I would recommend talking to someone who hasn't seen your profile before and asking them, maybe your mom or dad, someone who's not super great at Instagram, in my experience at least, and ask them, "Hey, is it obvious what I'm selling? Is it obvious who I'm selling it to? And is it obvious how to buy it? If you wanted to buy something from me, do I make it very, very clear how to do that?" You should be making it clear on somewhere around 2/3 to 3/4 of your posts. So you don't have to say buy with me on every single post, but it should be enough so that if someone is seeing your work in their feed, if someone is coming to your profile for the first time and looking at a couple photos, that it's very obvious where they can do that. For most of you, this is going to come through a link in your bio, especially if you don't have the swipe up feature. And at this point, Instagram is just beta testing actually purchasing on Instagram, but it's not been rolled out to everyone, which means that not only do you have to get someone to buy into what you're doing on Instagram, but you also have to convince them to go to another location to purchase something. And one thing that you can do to make this really easy on you and on them is having a links page on your bio. So it's kind of like Linktree, which is a fine option. But if you want to create something that is a little bit more branded and looks like your work, you can do that on your website by creating an unlinked page. Mine is just designbylaney.com/links and then adding buttons to whatever you've been talking about. That way you don't have to keep changing your link in your profile, but they still have one link they go to and you can have as many different options as you want. So if you talk about something new, like if you talk about a blog post one day and a product the next day, you can link both of those right there and it's still link in bio. So it's still really easy for them to access and it's drawing more website traffic to your website. So just to recap a little, make sure you are attracting the right audience based on your ideal client and that you're not just focusing on getting likes and engagement for the sake of likes and engagement. The only time this really makes sense is if you're kind of in that 8 to 9,000 range and you're trying to get up to 10,000 to get that swipe up. You might want to do some things that will increase your engagement and your following, even if they're not 100% getting you ideal clients, because that swipe up feature is going to increase your effectiveness with the ideal audience that you already have. And then you also want to make sure you're making everything as easy and as obvious as possible. Remember that your following isn't in your head all day. They don't know everything you're doing, and most of them don't see anywhere near 100% of the content that you put out because of the algorithms, because we're not on Instagram 24 hours a day, although I'm getting closer and closer these days. Make sure you're making the purchasing decisions really easy and obvious for them and repeating it as often as is comfortable for you. You'll get extra bonus conversions if you can figure out how to relate the product to something that's valuable to the client as opposed to just explaining what it is. We have a whole video about what's in it for me, which is a really awesome way to reframe your sales language. And we'll make sure we'll link that below for you so that you can kind of audit your language and see how you're relating to your clients on that level. So the ultimate goal here is to make you money on Instagram, not just to get likes and followers for no practical reason. So I hope that you all get to a point where you're making tons of sales on Instagram, and let us know in the comments what we can do to help you get there. As always, we would really appreciate a like or a subscribe. We're getting so close to 1,000 followers, which is just an amazing milestone for us here on YouTube. So thanks everyone for following along, tuning in, and I hope that you'll subscribe to our channel so you get notified of all our future videos that we release. Thanks, everyone.